Good morning. My name is Manny Sarmiento. I'm the president and CEO of the Doral Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to Miami's community newspapers. First of all, I want to start off by thanking Grant and Michael Miller, the entire community newspapers family. This is an amazing publication. I recommend that you, if you're looking for marketing, come here, talk to Grant, talk to Michael, talk to some of the salespeople, marketing people. I also want to thank Tommy. He's our producer in the background. Hey, Tommy, welcome, welcome. And our VP, Carmen Lopez, and the board of directors of the Doral Chamber of Commerce. We market you. That's our new slogan. We market you. What do you need? Tell us what you need. I know you're having challenging times right now. We have some gifts being dropped off, and this will be kind of the subject. I don't think you want to wear one, but that's okay. This is the subject of today's presentation. Well, we know where he's at. We know where he'll be tomorrow. So I want to welcome our guest. Of course, I am from the Doral Chamber of Commerce. And so you might want to question, why am I bringing in a candidate for the city of Miami? Well, let me explain it to you this way. I came to Miami in 1968 off one of those Freedom flights at Miami International Airport. I was processed through the Freedom Tower. I lived 2 years in Chicago, 2 years in LA, and the rest of my life since 1972 here, with a short stint in Tennessee, in the Army. I'm sorry, in Dothan, Alabama, in the Army, the Guard, and a couple short years in Tennessee, in Nashville. I'm a NASCAR fan. Okay, I speak perfect English, so Spanish. But point is, this is my city. Miami is my city. We grew up here. I went to Shenandoah, Ada Merritt. That was a thrill.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Citrus Grove Junior. I went to Miami High, Booker T. Washington, Miami-Dade, FIU. This is my city. So I am concerned. I care about this city. And now we have an election coming up in November. And it is very important that you vote. And you vote to make some changes. Miami has come back from some of the situations that we were in. We need some good, great leadership. We need to change the leadership. So I want to introduce you to Quinn Smith, candidate for seat 3, Miami Commission. I have already told him to calm me down if I get too passionate, as I'm not a politician, but we had some situations in Doral, and because we had Mr. Joe Carollo as a city manager. Our city was a disaster. Everything was accusations. Everything was problems. Everything was trouble. And we spent 4 years, or the length of his tenure as city manager in the city of Doral, and the city of Doral became a disaster. Now it's time to make some changes. And by the way, I want to implore you, because I know that your mi abuelita and tu abuelito vote. And some of these politicians have abuelita and abuelito in their pocket. I know, because my mom and dad were visited often by all these politicians. And all I could do was laugh, because they were visited during Thanksgiving with a turkey, and they were visited during Christmas with some kind of basket and gifts. So tell your abuelita to do the right thing and vote for the right people. I want to bring you the other side. I want to give you the sunshine that we can bring back to Miami. And that is Quinn Smith right here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Manny. And thank you for your story. I love that. I love hearing those stories of how people came to Miami. We have some things in common. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. You live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. Awesome. So I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we have in common. You know, also your passion for the city of Miami. And the fact that the city of Miami touches all of us. Even if people don't live in the city of Miami, often they are touched by it. This is where they go to restaurants. It's where they work. So much of the Bay touches the city of Miami. Yes. Those prime pieces of the Bay that we know and love are affected by the city of Miami. So yeah, thank you for that perspective.
Oh, let me tell you about Nashville. Sometimes I miss Nashville, because Nashville has that family thing.
Okay.
You know, during growing up, I wasn't used to the hay rides and the family reunions and all that. we kind of had that in 1972. You know, Carol City, my family was Carol City, and they'd have their parties every weekend and stuff, without the shootings. Okay.
Yeah.
So we grew up with that, and I go to Nashville. Miami's missing that right now. Kind of missing that, you know.
I have heard that.
And Nashville is so much family. I still miss. The one thing I miss about Nashville is just that. The family, that feeling. So welcome to Miami.
Well, thank you.
So you've been here how long now?
Since 2005 is when I came to Miami. I came for law school.
Awesome. Yeah, you have a law degree.
Yes. So
law practice, right?
I graduated from the University of Miami, and
Go Quinns.
Yes, right, go Quinns. And I started my own firm in 2009. So a year after I graduated, and in that same firm is where I still work. So it's grown, and we've changed names, and we've added partners, and we have 15 lawyers.
I see. Fantastic. Oh, good. So a lot of success. So tell me, why did you decide to run for a city commission seat 3, City of Miami right now?
Sure. So I believe in public service, and I believe in the power to do good, especially on a local level. I mean, so many of our problems are local problems, and so many of the solutions that can be found through local politics. You know, local politicians, they have the closest connection to the people. They are in the best spot to help out. And that's something that I really like about local politics, and what drew me to this race.
And it's to me, a personal note, it's painful to see what's happening right now in the city of Miami. Jim DeFeeti said that, I think he used the word disgraceful about that meeting a couple of nights ago. Why those issues? I really want you to win. Okay.
Thank you.
I checked out the other candidates. I really haven't talked to them, but when I checked out the other candidates for seat 3, I said, this is the guy.
Thank you.
We and don't worry, we'll make you an honorary Cuban, but not part of the Cuban mafia. That's reserved for very special people. Okay. And by the way, I'm not insulted by that. Chief Acevedo, we love you. I'm not insulted by that. Okay. That was a joke. Unfortunately, we can't take jokes anymore. We can't say jokes anymore. I'll make them. Okay. So that way you don't have to, right? And that was sad. People were upset. No one was upset. I wasn't upset. I'm Cuban. I was born Cuban, raised Cuban. Okay. Parents Cuban. Cuban tradition. I thought that was a joke. Okay. And Chief Acevedo, in my opinion, from what I've seen, I'm not living in the city of Miami right now. I'm living in the city of Doral. We have our own little mafia. Oh, God, shouldn't have said that. But I don't believe that. That's BS. And that was just a comment. That was just a joke. We're so woke right now but we know that certain people take advantage of those comments, and use it against people. They tried that. This same individual attacked me on the dais when he was city manager, city of Doral. Okay. And he wanted to call me corrupt. According to this person, everyone's corrupt. The mayor at that time was corrupt. The other city council people was corrupt. I was corrupt. The final question to this person, when we fired him from the city of Doral, and that was hell, by the way. That was hell the time that he was there. When we fired him from the city of Doral, my question to him, and I got him in front of the cameras, and says, could it be that you're the one that's corrupt? He never answered that question. But so how will you fix this problem?
Well, I mean, as far as this sense of corruption that's there, a lot of what we saw outlined in the memo prepared by the chief goes to the influence that people have tried to exert that is outside of their direct line of power, right? So, for example, trying to get the police force to investigate certain business establishments, right? Trying to interfere with existing investigations that are confidential in nature. Those are the things that undermine the faith of Miamians in their government. And those are the kinds of things, and you will understand this as the director of a chamber of commerce, those are the things that make businesses not want to invest. Whenever you're worried about whether or not you're going to be shut down for a frivolous or arbitrary reason, why are you going to put your own money into a neighborhood? And why are you going to put not only your money but somebody else's money into a neighborhood? You don't want that. You need stability. You need to have that rule of law that allows businesses to have some form of predictability, to know that their investment is going to come back in the future.
I like that. I like that. I don't know position. I don't know what the truth is. All I can see is perception. And what I have seen is something really, really good from Francis Suarez.
Okay.
Looks like he's doing great. I love what he's doing about bringing investments in, along with Miss Cava too, Mrs.
Okay.
Cava, because she's it looks like she's working hard. I didn't originally vote for her,
Okay.
but I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. A lot of people say no, she was Democrat. I don't care about that. Not when it comes to local politics. It's about getting things done. Ms. Cava's getting things done. Okay, really appreciate it. And what she did during Surfside, that was amazing. Always there. And it looks like Francis is doing a great job. So, but we have a certain problem. I don't want to mention his name because we don't want to give him any energy, but we need to change things in Miami, don't we?
Well, and I like what you mentioned about how you view the partisanship when it comes down to local elections, and I think that you're right, because potholes don't have political parties, right? Whenever you need a tree to get trimmed, it doesn't have a political party. Whenever you're trying to attract new jobs and new businesses, those don't have political parties. And I also really appreciate the fact that you could say you didn't vote for somebody, but can still be happy for them and happy for the community. And I think that's a crucial part of building, the kind of democracy that we want to see.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. We really got to get away from all the wokeness, and really get to the issues. I love Miami. I love my city. This is my city. It's an amazing city, and we have some issues that we want to make sure we talk about, and how you can take care of it, because it looks like right now on the dais all it is more chaos. Okay, like I said, he brought chaos to Doral, and now he's bringing chaos back to Doral. I mean, back to the city of Miami. And we're not focused on the issues. So let's talk about some of these issues. Okay.
Sure.
I want to give you an opportunity. I know. By the way, I want everybody this weekend to go to Ball and Chain, spend a lot of money. Okay. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing owner who was attacked politically, and read about it. There's a lot of articles about Ball and Chain and a certain individual, and how they try to interfere and shut the business down. Now, I've had that issue. I have our mayor speaking badly about us, and I have a recording where he tells the media, one media person, that myself, Carmen Lopez, our VP, and this chamber is in it for the money. I'll show you my finances, okay? We had to put everything, the finances for the chamber, okay? I don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, you get these political attacks for some reason. You ask me, why would our mayor attack me? Okay. I would love to ask him that. When I ran against him, so that's probably the main reason. But even before then, we haven't had. We have a politician that is not interested in really taking care of things. If he doesn't like you, he tries to shoot you down. So we have the same issue in Miami now. Again, because when he was in Doral, it was the same issue. So so he tried to interfere with businesses. So like I said, this weekend, Ball and Chain, don't miss it. Okay. So tell me about some of these quickly, because I don't want to spend too much time on it. I really want to get. Is there? Let me ask firmly: is there an FBI investigation right now?
So I don't know. I mean, only the FBI could tell you. And what I've read is that they're aware of the allegations and they're aware of the memo that was provided, but I don't know if there's an investigation. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Okay. Good. All right. Let's leave it at that. Let's get to progress. Okay. Which is what I know you want to do in the city of Doral. And I'm there with you. Okay. I'm passionate about it. Like I said, what do you see? Let's talk about some of the issues. Public safety.
Okay.
I know Ms. Cava, the county, came up with a program. I forget what the name was. The summer.
I think it's a Safer Streets or something like that.
No, the summer of something. Summer of safety or something.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
It seems like a great program. It seems like we got results. We still get a lot of issues with gun violence and stuff. So tell me, what could you do
Mhm.
Quinn Smith, um, in the city of Miami as a it's to resolve some of these issues that are definitely going on. This isn't just
Sure.
noise.
So, I mean, when we talk about gun violence, this kind of retaliatory gun violence, especially, I mean, I commend the county for wanting to take aggressive steps to help to limit it. I think that there are also other programs that we can use that have been statistically shown to be successful. One of those is called CURE.
Cure, yeah.
CURE is the acronym, and what it does is it relies on trusted community members to intercede whenever there is gun violence, to be the first ones there at the hospital to try to resolve the underlying issues that lead to the back and forth attacks. Because while we do not see it in the news, the gun violence continues. And as was described to me by an activist and a dear friend in Overtown, that it is akin to a genocide on young black men, and that if we don't get to the root of the things that fuel it, and often it's this the back and forth between different groups, then we're not going to see a resolution. And so what Cure does is it does empower these individuals to go out and try to help to resolve the underlying issues. It is cost effective. It also takes the burden off of the police force, and I'll tell you a quick story from a city commissioner in Opelika. He said that they were increasing police presence, and then what happened is that those who were committing the crimes were going to the apartment buildings where the police presence was to hide out, basically, and then commit their crime someplace else. And I don't say that to criticize the police. I'm just saying that can be one of the things that happens if we don't get more to the underlying roots of the problem.
If I may make a suggestion, you're the politician, I'm not, but if I may make a suggestion, one of the things that I see with our kids, especially Black and Latinos, I cringe when I see a 3-year-old, 6-year-old, 9-year-old shot. Okay,
Mhm.
and things that have happened, not necessarily in Miami, but in Miami-Dade County. One of the things that I would implore you to look into is finding programs, and I know there are some programs out there, more programs for our kids, especially
Mhm.
our Black,
Mhm.
underprivileged Hispanics, white. We have everything. This isn't a black and white thing. This is a kids thing. There aren't enough role models. Okay, because you want to consider people in the NBA.
Mhm.
They're role models. These role models like LeBron James are giving our kids. They're not showing them how to be great people. The great
Mm.
people. We had a great person, and unfortunately, he was assassinated, and that was Martin Luther King. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you look at his principles, it's those are principles that function. And he was a role
Mhm.
model.
Mhm.
Please tell me which role model do we have here that doesn't spew hatred,
Mm.
that doesn't spew division in races.
Mhm.
This isn't black and white. This is
Mm.
this is about
Mm.
our kids,
Mhm.
protecting our kids. We have a
Well,
revolving door also in jail. How can you find someone, and the news was, oh, this person just got arrested and he had a rap sheet. He had 49 arrests. How
mhm.
the hell does that happen?
Mm.
Is our state attorney doing things correctly?
Mm.
I don't believe so.
Mm.
We're putting a spewing back
Yeah,
out in
well,
the
well,
street.
but I mean, it's hard for me to be too broad, but I will say that there are a number of wonderful role models that we have. Desmond Meade, went to Miami-Dade College, was really one of the biggest leaders behind Amendment 4, that would have restored the rights of felons, of almost all felons, to vote. He was recently given a MacArthur Genius Grant. So I mean,
Right.
I think that that's a recognition that we do have role models here.
I want them to
There's
step up. I
Yeah.
want I want these role
Well,
models to step up. I want them in the community, and I
mhm.
want better programs. And the city of Miami, that's where we can really invest dollars. There's programs for businesses. There's programs for housing. I want to talk to you about
Sure,
housing coming up. That's a disaster. Um, I want more programs for our
sure.
kids. I want our
So
kids.
I agree with you. So I mean, we can role models. We can talk about that, but let's talk about programs.
Okay.
I was speaking to somebody who works with the city of Miami and in the recreation department, and I was asking how many programs they have for kids, and she said that they have programs for about 45. We have a city of almost
Wow.
500,000 people.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying that the city has to do everything.
Mhm.
Of course, the city cannot do everything, but the city can be a leader in doing something. And it's not just this one individual. I talked to many different voters all over the district, especially moms who have their kids inside, and they want to be able to have programs for them. I talked to people that live near parks. There are some parks in Little Havana that are quite nice, and those parents they want more programs. And whenever we have high quality programs for our youth, that has a dramatic downward impact on crime. So I mean that's an important part of it, and it goes to the role model element that you were talking about, but I think it also just really goes to having that kind of healthy, thriving community that we all want.
To me, our kids are number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I cringe. I get sad when I see our kids getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I have open eyes, and I can see. And look, let me give you a good example, and maybe we can emulate boys and girls clubs
Mm-hmm.
in any community. And the one we have, unless there's another one I don't know of, is in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alex Rodriguez put a lot of funds
Mm-hmm.
into that. He was really a hero to our
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk whatever you want to talk about him and J-Lo and him and this and him and Sarah. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care. But he put his money and his actions back into our community, and he really supported Boys and Girls Clubs and
Mm-hmm.
other programs like that. That's a great program to emulate. Do we have anything like that in Liberty City, Overtown, Hialeah?
Yes, I mean it's hard for me to speak to
Coconut Grove.
all these different neighborhoods, but I do know people that do a lot of different programs and try to fill that gap. So I'm on the board of the Opelika Community Development Corporation, and we do have summer programs. We do have programs during the school year of many different types. We have art programs, we have computer programming that we offer to young people.
So how's that comparable to Miami? What's Miami doing?
Well, I think that's the issue, right? There are a lot of people that want it. The question is, what are we going to put in our budget? What are our budget priorities? And that is where the commission has a voice, is on budget priorities. Where we choose to spend our money.
So let me put it to you this way: we could have spent. He could have spent the 4 hours he spent on the dais talking about insulting everybody, showing videos from Las Vegas, trying to bring somebody down, trying to shoot somebody down who seems to be a great individual who has really gotten out to the community, the Black, the Hispanic community, all communities. He's gotten out there. He's been out there. We could have spent those 4 hours trying to figure out how to help our kids, right? How to make the community better for our kids, how to improve our parks, how to get funding and grants for our parks, and give our kids somewhere to go that's safe, right? We could have spent 4 hours last week, and tomorrow will be another 4 hours of insults, accusations, right? Can we spend those 4 hours tomorrow talking about how to help our kids, how to make better parks and better programs, can we talk about public safety? Can we talk about housing tomorrow instead of spending 4 hours trying to bring someone down who's a great individual? Okay, let's spend 4 hours on that. So let's talk about
there's time and there's money, though. All of these fights that the city gets into whenever we try to weaponize code enforcement, that creates legal bills. Whenever the city is constantly trying to pick a fight with the county over certain issues, those create legal bills. Those things have costs. So it is about money. It's also about how we work together. You want to talk about housing. Well, much of the housing is being built by Miami-Dade County. Now, the city could do a lot, could do more to work together with the county, but that's difficult whenever we have a commissioner that wants to constantly pick fights with the county. I want to take it back to a park. There was money allocated from the commission to help repair a park in my district, Triangle Park. $150,000. The repairs were never done. So it is a question about priorities to me. There are the budget priorities, but there's also making sure that these things get done so that our residents have faith in the city government. They know they have a trusted partner. There's always going to be bumps on the road, but I find that voters are forgiving if they see where your heart is.
Yeah. Now, but you talk about parks. There's a lot of desire for public companies, such as, let's talk about Nashville. I was the NASCAR guy. Okay. By the way, in Nashville, I was Mexican. Okay, I was not Cuban. Okay, because everybody, if you're Hispanic in Nashville,
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Okay,
yeah.
I was Mexican in Nashville. Okay, I wasn't Cuban in Nashville, but they loved Nashville. They loved black beans and rice. It's crazy. Okay, so as a Mexican in Nashville, I love NASCAR. NASCAR is a family god country.
Okay.
We can build, and NASCAR is interested in the Hispanic market.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke to them. I want to do something next year in October. We were trying to do some things, but the C word came around. Couldn't do much with them. But I have spoken to the representatives from Hispanic marketing for NASCAR.
Okay.
NASCAR will come in, and you can do a partnership with NASCAR, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA. Okay, so instead of taking one knee, they could be investing in our parks, in our country, and in our kids. And some of these organizations do that. Major League Baseball has a lot of programs for kids. So would you look into programs that are public? Are they called public private?
I mean, it could be in the form of a public-private partnership, but I think more often than not, it's just having good collaboration. Yeah. Being able to get things done. The PPPs, you say the public-private partnerships, often that takes a lot of work, a lot of contracts.
But they want to give us the money. They want to help our kids.
Yeah,
and they have the funds to do that. If we reach out to them, you want to talk. I just don't like hearing the problem. It's a budget problem. Reach out. You can reach out for other things, right? Francis Suarez is reaching out and bringing businesses in from outside. Okay, tech.
Yes,
love it. Okay, love the idea, love the concept. I just don't want them to bring their Silicon Valley and Seattle, Washington ideas or California ideas to Miami. Okay,
yeah.
we leave our city like it is. Don't bring your politics here. Bring your tech company here. Fine. Don't bring your freaking politics here. Okay, I don't want to see Miami become a California, an Oregon, or a Washington.
Yeah.
But he has to bring great ideas here. He's an example of what you can do by talking to these private companies. There's billions of dollars, so let's have them bring some dollars into our parks. Why not? Okay, but let's talk about housing really quick. I know you mentioned it already. In an interview that she did last week, a forum that she did, Mrs. Cavas talked about 14,000 units coming and focus on restoring the existing units so we don't lose them. But it is tough right now.
It is.
We have somebody in the family who's trying to. Their Section 8 is getting removed from their building.
Okay.
This lady, and she can't find a place.
Yeah.
Can't find a place.
It is difficult. I think it's hard for many people in our community to understand just how difficult it is. So many people are spending over half of their monthly income on housing. I mean, just to think about that, I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yesterday it was announced that we overcame LA as the second least affordable area to live in. How do we fix that?
Yeah, so there are ways to address that. That's not going to get fixed overnight, but there are ways that we can take a sustained effort, and there's multiple prongs to it. First, we have to, as municipal leaders, unite across the state of Florida, and we need to advocate for the Sadowski Trust Fund.
What is that?
So the Sadowski Trust Fund was set up to fund affordable housing, and money is allocated to it every year, hundreds of millions of dollars, and then that money is later taken and applied to other programs. It is essentially defunding affordable housing. It happens every year. And it tends to happen towards the end of session when we get caught up in other issues and no one's paying attention. But that's at a municipal level, we feel the lack of affordable housing more than anything else, because those are our family members that don't have a place to live. Those are the buildings that we see that are falling into decay. And unlocking that funding would go a long ways to helping communities throughout this state deal with the affordable housing crisis. So that's one thing. The second thing is the city of Miami has a master plan for affordable housing. It was prepared through the FIU Center that deals with this specific topic. It was done with community input, and it calls for the creation of a housing finance corporation so that we can take the money from the Miami Forever bond and we can begin to leverage it so that the city can go in and start to be a building partner in affordable housing. So that's one thing that we can do that just hasn't been done. We can also look at our land use decisions as a commission. A lot of times we begin to look at how property will be used whenever it's already about to approach construction, right? It's just too late by then. We have to engage early in the process so that, if there is going to be a variance, or if there are going to be more stories, that on a building, that we can have a substantial part for, affordable and low income housing. Going back to this master plan that I told you about, this draft master plan, it calls for focusing on many of our smaller units. This is especially important in Little Havana, where you have a lot of 2- and 3-story buildings. Those buildings can be preserved for their beauty architecturally while remaining low-income housing. And what that would do for us is it would prioritize many of our smaller contractors. So we have wonderful big developers here, and I think we're all proud of our skyline. But at the same time, there are many smaller contractors who can thrive on doing a 16-unit building, doing a 30-unit building. George Perez from Related got started doing a 32-unit building in Hialeah. So, focusing on those little buildings and prioritizing our smaller developers can be a way for us to see the new generation of business leaders we'll have in the future. So, that's another thing that we can do. There's many things that we can do, especially when we work together between the city and the county, so that we can bring more housing online and we can give people a sense of hope so that they're not waiting 10 years for a Section 8 voucher.
So are you a negotiator? Can you bring people together? Because I don't understand why you mentioned earlier that there's a clash between the city and the county oftentimes. But it seems to me like I said, Mrs. Cava is actually trying to do and doing great things. Like I said, I didn't vote for her. And you could say I'm biased. Okay. I'm on the other party, but I don't care about that stuff. Okay? Why aren't we working with her? She seems to be doing a good job. Perception-wise, she seems to be doing a good job. Francis seems to be doing a great job. Okay, why do we have that clash? How do we fix that? Will you fix that?
So
you're an attorney, so you should be able to negotiate things well, right?
So as an attorney, we do have a lot of negotiations. I've done a lot of mediations. That is a part of our business, and I think that it is also a part of who I am as a person, is looking at difficult situations, and we try to figure out how we can reach a resolution. Sometimes it's something out of the box, but sometimes it's just sucking up your pride and doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, being able to talk, I think is a big issue. I've seen that in public safety, when the training goes to teaching an officer that it's not you against them, that it's you in a conversation, and you can scale things down. There's unfortunately, it's politics. I hate politics. The reason I ran against our current mayor is because I'm really not happy with the way things are in Doral. So we have the same issues. Literally, we have the same issues: overdevelopment, things that are kind of shady. They interfered or got a couple of officers, one officer fired, cost the city $490,000 in a lawsuit, because he interfered. Our city council and mayor are not strong mayors. Now it's crazy what we have right now. We have the police chief is the city manager. So
Okay.
I read your memo. Okay.
Oh, the Acevedo memo.
Right.
Yeah,
How
not
do you
my
do?
memo,
How
but
do
yeah.
you do? Is that the fox guarding the hen house? Okay, because I read the Acevedo memo.
Yes.
Okay, and that was one of the issues. Okay, who's internal affairs? Who's internal affairs?
Mm-hmm.
When the strong it's a strong city manager, and the city
Mm-hmm.
manager happens to be the police chief. Now Organvidas is a great guy, love guy. He made some changes, but we have the same issues in Doral. Um, so let me ask you a couple more things. Though. A couple things in Spanish. First of all, I want to say, mom, dad, abuelo, abuela, voten por cambio. Okay. Aquí
Así
tenemos
es.
un señor
Así
que
es.
parece ser buena persona. Investíguelo usted mismo. Okay. No que no el regalito, el pavo que te van a dar por Thanksgiving, que no te compren el voto. Okay. Hay que hacer cambios en la ciudad de Miami. Okay. Las rentas están muy altas. Tenemos
Mm-hmm.
situaciones, problemas con crimen,
Mm-hmm.
y el alcalde y los consejos que tenemos ahora no todos están enfocados en ti.
Mm-hmm.
Ahora yo quiero que el señor Quinn, es fácil decir el nombre del Quinn, ¿ok? Quinn,
Así es.
está Quinn, somos cubanos, ¿right? Somos mexicanos, venezolanos, Quinn, aquí está Quinn. Quinn te quiere decir unas palabras en español para que sepas quién es, pero puedes ir al website de él. ¿Cuál es el website tuyo?
Bueno, es quinnformiami.com.
Quinnformiami.com, ¿ok? Quinn, hable a los mamá, papá, abuelo y abuela y dígale por qué votar por ti.
Bueno, muchas gracias, Manny. Y gracias a todos ustedes. Y bueno, gracias por su esfuerzo y después de ayudar a esta ciudad a crecer, porque ha sido gracias a sus esfuerzos todos estos años. Mira, este año es un año de cambio para nosotros. Estamos cansados con la misma política y estamos cansados de que los barrios están olvidados y que solo hay algún interés en la comunidad cuando hay una elección o cuando hay un día festivo, como un día de acción de gracias o la Navidad. Y yo estoy hablando con muchos votantes y ellos saben, ellos están atentos a que las cosas solo mejoran cuando hay una elección. Y esta vez tenemos la oportunidad de hacer algo diferente. Y bueno, yo voy a luchar por ustedes. Yo voy a atender sus llamadas y mi oficina va a estar allá para ayudarles en lo que necesita. Y bueno, juntos yo creo que podemos tener un Miami mejor.
Love it. Okay, that was the Spanish version. Let's get back to English real quick, so we can finish up here. I want to see some changes. Okay, I'm glad that I called you. I was researching it. Like I said, I'm passionate about Miami. I want to see the changes. I don't like what's going up there. The question here is, where's Joe? Okay, tomorrow he will be at Miami City Hall, throwing around some more bad stuff about our city, about our chief of police, Acevedo. So if you want to voice your opinion, go here. But if you want to make some changes, November 3rd, it's November 2nd. November 2nd.
I'm going on 3rd.
Vote for Quinn Smith. And remember, if you have abuelito and abuelita, call them. Tell them to vote for Quinn. Okay. Quinn Smith for Miami City Council, C3. We need some changes here. My name is Manny Sarmiento. I want to thank you. I want to thank Tommy. By the way, we have some great events coming up. Go to doralchamber.org. We are here for you. And one thing I want to mention that's very, very important. Tomorrow, Comcast Rise. There is a grant of $10,000 up to 100 businesses. This one is not the technology grant we had months ago. I announced it months ago. Several of our chamber members and several of our community businesses, they're still suffering, by the way, support, shop local. Several of our community businesses in Doral and outside Doral got technology grants. We got equipment, Wi-Fi, etc. This is a monetary grant. It's a Rise Development Fund. It's $10,000 to 100 businesses in Dade and Broward County. But I tell you, it opens up tomorrow, ComcastRise.com, or go to doralchamber.org and then scroll down. You'll see that. Click on it. Click on the rise. It's $10,000. It's an easy 15-minute, 20-minute application. Don't miss out on that. You need money for your business. That's the place to go. There is lots of money out there in grants. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you're not getting it from your Chamber of Commerce, and you should join a good Chamber of Commerce. We got some amazing ones. Coral Gables is an amazing one. Miami Beach is an amazing one. Gay and Lesbian Chamber is a great one. Chamber South is a great one. And the Doral Chamber of Commerce is the best one. Okay. So join a good chamber, keep up to date. But if you're not a member, you don't have to be a member, but go to our website, sign up, and we will keep you informed on all these grants, monies that are available. We were responsible for getting a lot of PPP dollars because we negotiated directly with local banks. The big banks didn't want to help you.
Fantastic.
So we negotiated with 7 of our local banks, including U.S. Century Bank, Valley Bank, and they were very instrumental. Synovus also very instrumental in really being personable and helping these people get their PPP monies. Okay, so get with a personal
bank. How many businesses did you guys help out through that process?
I don't have an exact number. We don't go out there and brag about ourselves. Which was actually a big mistake since the beginning. But we work hard for our members. We market you. We work on you. Okay, if you see another chamber talk about themselves, that's the wrong chamber. Okay, that chamber should be helping you. A Chamber of Commerce is a great thing when they're there for you and they're there for the community. That's what we do. Okay, and even though we don't get recognized by our mayor and we don't get recognized by our council for political reasons, I'm there for your business. We're there for your business. I don't want to take a lot more attention on us. I want to thank our guest today, Quinn Smith, candidate for City Council C3. Let's make some change. Tell abuelita and abuelito to vote for Quinn, okay, on November 2nd. God bless you. God bless you, Quinn.
Manny.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael, Grant. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Carmen. God bless you all. Have an amazing weekend.